Business Ethics, Chapter 1, 8 Aspects of Tribal Wisdom for Business Ethics and Why They Matter. 8 Aspects of Tribal Wisdom and Relevance for Business Ethics. So first we'll talk about relationship. So relationships include social relations and human relations with the natural environment. So that includes humans, but it also includes animals, the ocean, spirits, rocks, land, everything within the natural environment. The other 7 aspects of tribal values are parts of relationships. Business profits are secondary to social relationships within the family or tribe. Business is a means to the end of enhancing a harmonious balance of relationship among humans and the planet. And then when relationships are out of balance, then ceremony is how balance and harmony are restored. So there's a difference between relationship when we're talking about tribal wisdom and then when we're talking about Euro-Western values or practices. So relationships within tribal wisdom are an end in themselves. And then the Euro-Western values or practice says that relationships are a means to an end. So I talked about this a little when we talked about the preface, but this is so important to see that the Euro-Western way of doing business is using relationships, and then the tribal wisdom way of doing business sees relationships as the end goal. And then gifting rather than getting. So the tribal wisdom values giving rather than getting. Giving back to the community earns more respect than one who makes a profit from the community. Profit is simply less important than generosity. Sharing is expected within tribes, and then an example of gifting, the giveaway. It returns wealth to the community as a form of giving thanks and as a tithe on personal earned wealth. So when we're talking about gifting and the tribal wisdom way of doing business, so gifting is valued more highly. And then in the Euro-Western values or practices, gifting or acquiring is, acquiring rather than gifting is valued. So the Euro-Western values is put on acquiring or getting, and then the tribal wisdom way is giving. So egalitarianism versus hierarchy. So egalitarianism is the doctrine that all people are equal and deserve equal rights and opportunities. The tribe is more important than the individual, and then many tribes use verbal shaming of an individual who gives the appearance of being better than others. So the tribal wisdom way is where egalitarianism is preferred, or equal rights and opportunities are preferred, and then the Euro-Western values or practices is hierarchy is preferred, and hierarchy is where there's different levels of power and of status, where different people seem to be worth more than others. So that would be the Euro-Western way of doing business. And then non-acquisitiveness is taking only what one needs as valued as a way to assure that all have enough. Accumulation is viewed as a community eroding greed. So the tribal wisdom way is non-acquisitiveness is valued, not greed. And then the Euro-Western values are put on accumulation of wealth. So usefulness. Tribal wisdom values access to rather than ownership. An example, if you need a car only one day a week, sharing a vehicle makes more sense than buying a car just for that one day a week. So the tribal wisdom way of doing business values usefulness. And then the Euro-Western values are, again, relationships are a means to an end. So barter. So the definition of barter is an exchange for other goods and services without using money. A barter community is compatible with non-acquisitiveness and usefulness. So tribal wisdom way is you always barter for what is needed. And then the Euro-Western way is to acquire according to supply and demand. So to buy and sell as you need them. But bartering allows for more of a reciprocal relationship where everybody is benefited from. And then trust. So in tribal wisdom, the importance of trust carries over to business practices. There's an emphasis on keeping one's word, being honest, and following through on commitments. These are principles that create and are created by trust. So the tribal wisdom way is trust and buyer trust are valued. And then the Euro-Western way is buyer beware still exists. And then disclosure. Disclosure is in direct conflict with the buyer beware social norm. American Indian trading was seller-initiated voluntary full disclosure of the flaws and shortcomings of any item in trade. Such disclosure practices enhance trust and egalitarianism. So the tribal wisdom way is disclosure is full and voluntary. The Euro-Western way is truth to the extent required by law. So they're going to share as much as they're required to share. So there's 3 reasons for applying tribal wisdom to business ethics. So reason 1 are master traders. Tribes in the Americas have a much longer history as master traders. They established cross-continental trade routes, and their trading relationships flourish for hundreds of years. So even now, many elementary schools are learning about this long overlooked aspect of our Native American history. Reason number 2, global village. Due to recent technological advances, our world has shrunk to a global village. Village-type dynamics used for maintaining respectful and honest relationships socially and with trading partners is again very relevant in today's global economy. The internet has opened up our businesses to people around the world in ways that only occurred within villages previously. And then reason number 3, wealth redefined. Seeking business insights from indigenous peoples is to experience a broader definition of wealth beyond just money. Tribal people reject the non-tribal label of poor. They will point out that while they may not be wealthy in dollars, they are rich in tradition, art, culture, family and community ties, relationships with Mother Earth, and spirituality, to name a few. So typically when we are focusing on these riches, the tradition, art, culture, relationships, financial wealth will follow. And that is it for chapter 1. Thank you.